Hello, what's good, y'all? It's Masterpiece. Check 1 2. Am I live right now? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hello, what's good, y'all? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Throw up a 1. Let this chat fill up. Alright. Alright, yo. Well, I hope this has audio because last time I recorded this, I was on mute. So, big ups to Tone Loke for letting me know I was on mute. Big ups to Yosef El Bey. So the topic of this is the response to Sarai Su and Seti's video entitled "Seti Destroys the Flat Earth Theory." First and foremost, I want to start by saying I got mad love for Seti. You know, he's definitely the leader in this shit. He's the big man. So I salute you, and I'm with you. And this isn't about throwing rocks at the stone. And just so you know, in the future, everybody out there watching, we shouldn't attack Seti for saying the things that he said. He just simply hasn't looked into it enough, and I'll clearly show you why. Now, upon making the video last night, that was like an hour and a half. In retrospect, I said, you know what? I'm not going to, because what I did was I took the video step by step and answered you point by point. But in retrospect, I'm glad that it was on mute and that I have to redo this, because now I'm gonna simplify it and just make it a lot easier. I heard that you declined a debate with Brother Sanchez and maybe possibly others as well. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't listen to hearsay. But if you are, A, I would not recommend it. B, if you still want to proceed, I highly recommend getting this book and also many other tips. And I'm going to go through this. So I want to start by saying that these are just tips for you, General. These are just study note tips, all right? Things that you can go take with you and go off and study on your own time and come to your own conclusions. This is not something that you can just come to a conclusion of overnight or in a couple weeks or months, or look at some memes and put together a conclusion in your head, which is obvious what you've done, because a lot of the questions that you asked had no validity and no basis within the flat Earth model. It was completely left field, but it's all good. I'm hoping I'm got my audio up right now. I really do. That would be embarrassing if I did that again. Anyways, so here we go. The first tip that I got for you is quickly before I get into the tips, I want to explain why I'm giving him tips, because what I'm doing right now is I'm nulling the possibility for a debate, because debates are egotistical. Why? Before a debate, you can hear brothers saying like, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to give you all that I got. I'm going to save it for the debate. That means that you're withholding information to give at another time, which is what the government does to us, which is what the European does to the world, right? The information needs to be instant. As soon as it's received, it needs to be passed on. You know what I mean? Sarai Su and Si desperately needs educating on the globe, Earth, heliocentric, and the flat Earth. So why am I gonna say, oh, I'm gonna wait for the debate to give you what I got? No, brother, I'm gonna give it to you right now. You had questions. You were saying things like, explain it to me. Explain it to me. How does it make sense? Well, I'm offering myself here, and I'm offering these tips here for to help you make it make sense in your mind. Okay, so I got some tips. Well, first of all, your video was way off. I mean, flat Earth starting with religion and you trusting in the Freemason European Copernicus and Newton and Galileo and taking NASA's word for things. It was just very I don't know. It wasn't in your character to be so pro-European. So I'm just going to hopefully get you back on track with some study tips. Now, I highly recommend that you study, that you actually study and tear apart the globe model, because it's obviously you don't really know how the moon and the earth works in relation to the sun, and it was quite obvious with the suppositions and questions that you were bringing up, and it was not embarrassing. People would say people like message me and on my channel saying it was embarrassing. I wouldn't say it was embarrassing. You just simply didn't know, and you were poking fun at people that you thought were stupid. But it's not embarrassing. You just didn't know. So I also recommend you fully studying the geocentric model. Okay. The model that states that the Earth is stationary and fixed and not moving with the bodies above, the heavenly bodies above. Okay, next tip. What I really highly recommend if you're gonna do this debate, big bro, is that and remember, this is all love, right? What I really hope that you do is produce a picture, a drawing, or better yet, a stone sculpture or a gold sculpture of a globe with what we know as Africa being there and what we know as North America and South America being there with the Great Pacific in between. Show that globe. If you can just produce the globe from Kemet, because I'm with you on ancient civilizations. I don't believe that we can find anybody better, anybody who's been more pristine and at balance and peace and harmony with themselves and nature. So find the globe from them for us. Show us a globe from Kemet, like a real globe, and don't show us like something that's round with a dot in the middle and maybe like other things around it. Show us their cartography. Show us what they thought the surface of whatever we live on looked like. Show us that. Show us the globe, and you know what I mean. Also, explain to us, because you are so. I mean, you grew up with the masters. You sat at the masters' feet. You've been to Kemet a bunch of times, and elsewhere. You're well traveled, and you definitely got more years on me. You know what I'm saying? So show us. Let us know what the nature is for gravity. What's the gravity nature? Because it's a force, right? It's a thing that exists, yet we can't see it, but that's okay, because there's natures for things we can't see. We can't feel it. Okay. We can't prove it. Newton's huge volumes were just all hypothesis, and it's still the gravity particle, the God gene or the nature gene or whatever, the nature particle, you know what I mean? The God particle is still trying to be found. You know what I mean? There's so many indiscrepancies with gravity. So if you could just show us the nature that represented gravity, so that we can, of course, add a little bit more validity to the fact that the Kemites believed in a spinning ball model. If y'all are out there, give me a 1. Throw up a 1 if you can hear my audio. I see that some people are watching. I just need to know. I need some feedback. All right. To continue, some more tips for you to enter into this debate with, or whatever, or to go. I don't want the debate to happen. I want you to go off into your own area of study and inquiry and come to your own conclusions, which we know you haven't done because the things that you supposed were really just far left. Okay. We need to. You should show us after you see what the true flat model looks like, the plain Earth looks like. You'll hear a lot about a disk moon, a disk sun, and that's synonymous with what we hear in Kemet. Ancient Kemet, we have three-dimensional figures, figurines holding up disks. You know what I mean? And if that's supposed to be the sun, why is it a disc? Why isn't it a ball that they're holding? You know what I mean? Like in Greece, you can see like that fucking whoever it is holding up that ball, right? Atlas holding up that ball, right? The globe. Now they constructed the globe. Now I haven't seen that type of globular thing in Kemet, and I haven't seen it for the sun either, or the moon, for that matter. I've seen other ancient spherical moons before, but yeah, just the sun disk thing. You say the sun disk, and in the flat Earth model, they say that the Earth is possibly a sun, but then you ignore the fact that the Kemites drew and sculpted a disc, and say and take NASA's word and say it's a huge, big, burning, hellish mass of fire. So basically, I got some stupid ass people in the fucking chat. So basically, sorry about that, y'all. Block that motherfucker. Dumbass. Okay. Some cracker. Okay. So yeah, I mean, NASA seeks to push Heru 93 million miles away. Flat Earthers seek to keep it where it is, nice and close. Okay, so another tip for you, Seti, is to show us. I would highly recommend that you gain personal observational data. So what does that mean? In your personal life, in your everyday, try to accumulate data, write it down, take note, and write down your findings and compare it. Okay? Because I think you'll notice that there's a lot of anomalies. Like, for example, when you take a flight and the horizon stays at eye level. Now, you probably don't know what that means, right? You probably don't know what that means. But just like you didn't know what it meant to the question on your live stream, you didn't know what it meant when the person asked you, why can they see Chicago from whatever. That just shows that Dr. John Henrik Clarke said that once in a debate, and it reminds me of this. All you've done, Seti, is shown us how much you haven't read, and that's a true statement, and it applies to you right now. No disrespect. Okay, next tip I got for you, my good brother. I mean, the best brother doing it right now, definitely. Is when you take a flight, next time you take a flight to Africa, anywhere it is, specifically, hopefully Malawi, because this is what I'm going to show you right now. Let me just share my screen. understand what you were looking at. You showed the animation, but you didn't understand what you were looking at. I think that's the easiest way to say it. So instead of having a debate, have a discussion. You know what I mean? Have a discussion with somebody, with me, with Brother Sanchez. That's another thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to give you some more tips about people and things that you could consult. So first of all, you need to buy this book, Zetetic Astronomy. Zetetic means proceed with inquiry, right? Just gonna read you a quick excerpt, Seti, because I know you like books. You got a lot of books. I know you're gonna pick this one up. I got the description. I got the link to go get the book on Amazon below. So Seti, go get the book. Everybody who's watching, just click the link below. I got it. I got it for you. You know. Here's an example of a zetetic process. We have another example of the zetetic process in our courts of justice. A prisoner is placed at the bar. Evidence for and against him is demanded. When advanced, it is carefully arranged and patiently considered. It is then presented to the jury for solemn reconsideration, and whatever verdict is given, it is advanced as the unavoidable conclusion necessitated by the whole of the evidence. In trials for justice, society would not tolerate any other procedure. Okay? Now, I'm thorough with mines. You know what I'm saying? Every time I read this book, I have to have my highlighter. If I don't have my highlighter, I do not read the book. I do not pick it up. Okay, so with that being said, this has over 100 experiments done all over the world about the actuality of a globe Earth, and it's been many times failed. Look up Brother Sanchez. I know he challenged you to a debate. I don't know if you declined it or whatever, if you even heard about it, but he will eat your food when it comes to this. If you want it to be competitive like that. But if you want it to be a good, wholesome conversation, just talk to the brother. You know, we don't need to slander or use profanities or whatever. You can just, well, I don't give a fuck if you use profanities or whatever, but no putting down the niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be putting down our people, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way you're getting on people for that, you know? Because you're gonna see, if your ego I'm not saying you have a big ego, because I think an ego is a good thing to have, whereas most of the conscious community think it's something to banish. Your ego is healthy, and that's a good thing. You know who you are, okay? And hopefully your ego can allow a modification to be made in its comfort zone, okay? So look up Eric Dubé, okay? He's a white boy, but he drops the science like a motherfucker, okay? Look up Eric Dubé. You know, look into the Sagnac experiment. By the way, I put Eric Dubé's channel down below as well, and Brother Sanchez's channel down in the link below about specifically about the flat Earth. Look into the Sagnac's experiment. Okay, I posted that below. Look into the Michelson-Morley experiment, which is below, and the Aries failure experiment, to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Earth is fixed, stationary, and is a horizontal plane with marks and indentations, and the celestial bodies rotating above. I'm wrapping this up, people. I know you're probably on your lunch break. You got to get back to work. 5 more minutes. Second, another thing, Seti, this is the last thing, one of the last things. Look into the difference of the quality of the sunlight versus the moon's light. Okay, the sun's light's warm, antiseptic, and it's life-giving, while the moon's light is cool, putrefying, and it is injurious to people. Okay, it's deleterious. Okay, many people have written that fire burns differently in the sunlight than it does in the moonlight. Okay, now the definition of a reflector means reflecting that which is projected onto it. uh, whether it's fully saturated or not. Okay, it's projecting. Um, we know that you can't shine a hot light and reflect something cold. Okay, you can't shine a yellow light and get blue back. Okay, you can't send out a beam that um, that dries flesh and candies and dries fruits, and then have that change into something that creates it to that allows it to putrefy and allows mold to fester and germs to thrive. Okay, so that's something that's going to completely just set you on your path. Okay, also look up the deity Rahu, Rahu. I don't even want to get into it. It's just obvious that you maybe have not, maybe you heard of him, but you haven't looked it up, or maybe when you heard of him, you couldn't conceive it because you're still in the European mindset when it comes to the orientation of the thing that we're standing on, the plane that we're standing on. And also, last but not least, do not, Sarai Su and Si, General, salute, do not debate this. Do not debate this, but act as if you were. Pretend as if you were getting ready for a debate. And do all the research you can about their arguments and all the research you can about your arguments. And before you're done, you'll be a flat earther. I'm not, I'm going to qualify myself right now. I am not a member of the Flat Earth Society. I do not subscribe to the same typical bullshit that you see, the dome and the bottom of the earth falling away. You got the flat earth flying through space and the bottom falls away. I don't have the time to get into completely what I believe right now, but we must remember that everything is illusion and everything is vibration, okay? And everything is a wave until it is looked at and it is observed. And when it's observed, it goes to a particle. Now, if I was to look at the flat earth, I would think of that more like a wave. And when I look at the globe earth, I think of that more as the particle. The particle, that globe, is the illusion. That is the veil that's been pulled over your eyes, big bro. The wave earth, you know what I mean? The plane. I do not believe that earth is a place, but I do believe that it is a state. It is a state of being, a state of existence, a state of expression. And we are operating in it. And I think if you raise your vibration, your perception of reality changes. And higher and higher you climb, or lower and lower you sink. But either way, it's all about your perception. And you talked about how if they can control your perception, they can lock you in the matrix in your mind. And that's what they've done with the globe. Okay? They have enclosed the globe to make scarcity a reality. Okay, so that's all I got for you. Those are the tips I have for you. And I wanted to do this because I want to show that black people, we can disagree and still have love for each other. Also, we can disagree and teach without putting down. We can disagree and still have a level of, a level of focus for the real goal. Because the flat earth, globe earth thing, that only becomes a distraction when it's getting in the way of Pan-African liberation. You know what I'm saying? Liberation for peoples across the plane. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, salute. I wish you the best of luck on your journeys. And I hope that I really hope that King Lex, what's good? What's good, buddy? Yeah, man. Praises. So yeah, man, that's enough information to get you going and get you completely in the direction. You know what I mean? You're going to find out things like how many miles it takes for the earth to curve down, and then you're going to look and you're not going to see it. You're going to see a whole bunch of anomalies with the clouds and with a whole bunch of stuff. So good luck, big bro. You kind of, you stepped in some shit, but I got the hose. Just take off them kicks I'm just hosing those souls down. I'm hosing your soul down, bro, because you stepped in some shit, and there's definitely gonna be a backlash because most people want that aggressive thing, right? That aggressive nature. So um, this is just peaceful. I mean, it's masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? It's masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? And the number one goal is Pan-African liberation. We must migrate back to the continent. We must take over and set up businesses, not take over businesses. We must help. We must integrate, build communionship and unity with the locals, our distant relatives, and we must control the resources and set our own prices. You know what I'm saying? So control our own land and our own minerals and all that good stuff. All right, get back to our own religion. Get back to our own cosmologies. And Seti, just to quickly close out, because I am closing out right now. I have to show you this, big bro, because this is a pretty revealing picture right here. So I want you to think about this. It says now these are all flat Earth cosmologies, starting with Egyptian. I know you can't see it, bro. Egyptian, Norse, Hindu, Mayan, Inca, Navajo, Hebrew, and NASA. And then it says all ancient civilizations depict flat Earth except the Roman Empire. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's just it's very telling about the lies and where this actually does come from. You know what I mean? So here, I'm just gonna pull it up quickly so that you can see better. All right, here you go, Seti. Look at this, because you said that the flat Earth came out with the Christians. It was only the stupid Europeans that thought. You see, they only told the European powers only told the farmers and the peasants that they would and the sailors that they would fall off to keep them in Europe, to keep them from venturing outside of Europe. But they taught that they were flat, like the rest of the world did. But then, after you get people wanting to know what's further and what's over the fall and whatever, you can't kill the curiosity of a man that wants to explore. So you create the globe and then just end it. Put it in the classroom from kindergarten all the way up, and you just dead it right there. You just dead all um, invigoration, motivation to go out and see what this bitch looks like for yourself. All right, yo, this has been Masterpiece, Seti. I really hope that you can learn from this and grow. And remember what I said, don't take the debate, but just prepare for it as if you were going to do it. And then you'll see. Alright? For y'all who's out there, subscribe. Thank you very much. Email me, masterpiece9 at gmail.com. I'll put the link in the description. I'll put my email in the description so you can get at me. If anybody wants to holler at me with their movements on migrating back to Africa, definitely do that. I'd love to hear it. You know that's my plan, and we're gonna help each other out. We're gonna build this network up, baby. All right. Also, quickly before I go, the GoFundMe is still up and running for the Pan-African pro-black convenience store. Okay, we're opening it up. It's definitely a go. Thanks to all that's supported already. anybody who supports, I will give you 3 times back your investment. Why? Because that's just what we got to do. Even if I got to go broke doing it, we got to show people that there are benefits of investing and buying black. You can't just buy black and then they go take your money. You can't just run a polite scam. You know what I mean? We got to show people that when you give me the money, I'm gonna give it back, and I'm gonna give it back better. When you give me a raw piece of iron of gold ore, I'm going to polish it. I'm gonna give you back a fucking diamond ring, bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the fuck we're gonna do. Pan-African convenience store. The description is below. GoFundMe.com/RBG Pan-African convenience store. The link is below. Alright, y'all. Peace, love, respect, and like I always say, eat to live.